What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Teas. It's your girl, Toya. This is the People's Podcast, and as unprofessional as it sounds, this episode has yet to be titled. We don't know the title of this episode. It may be Finding Your Way or something like that. But this is a discussion about what do we do when we are not feeling motivated, right? And this is an episode where I'm legitimately coming to my friends for help. I'm legitimately trying to gauge other people's opinions because I've been in a space in the last maybe week or two. Well, I just feel very much unmotivated, right? Nothing really moves me, nothing excites me, nothing makes me upset. I feel like I'm just sort of existing, right? And if you all have been in that place, let me know that I am not alone. Like I've been feeling unmotivated, nothing really inspires me. I'm not really moved by anything. I feel really indifferent, right? Now, y'all, I'm hot already. Now, that's not to say that I don't have goals and dreams and aspirations that I'm trying to get to. I do. I just don't feel motivated to go after them, right? And so a lot of people that I've been talking to, and I actually made a status. So if you're my friend on Facebook, I made a status yesterday saying this very thing, like, I'm the one who feels unmotivated. I feel like nothing inspires me. Like, I literally feel like a robot, and that's in work. That's like with people talking to me, like whatever. I'm just sort of like, dude, I'm here. Like, I feel like that player, was it football or basketball? When he was like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's how I've been feeling with everything. Terry said, you're not alone, sis. Thank you. And so my friends are sort of like, I don't want to say all of them, but I have friends who are kind of like, oh, you're sad, you need to get out, you need to do more. And that's true, but I'm not sad, guys. Like, I don't feel sad, I don't feel depressed, and I know very well what those things feel like. I don't think that I'm sad or depressed. I'm just like, I feel like I'm just like riding a wave, not even a wave. I feel like I'm in a wave pool, and the wave is kind of making me do what it wants me to do. So my question is, what are some things that I need to do or that you would suggest that I do is like to get out of it? I feel like I'm in a rut, right? But I'm not sad. It's just like I'm existing. So Mary said to change your space. And I heard that too. So my friend Bryson actually commented on that status I made yesterday, and he was like, you need to get up and go. And shout out to him. My dog is in Senegal right now, and he was just saying that like immersing yourself in a different location, in a different place, is sort of gonna get you into you might spark something new, because right now I'm just doing the norm, right? And that brought to my mind, like, I'm just doing the norm. And I kind of mentioned to him, I told him, I was like, well, I feel like I'm not, like, nothing is inspiring me. I don't feel like there's nothing changing in my life. And he mentioned, like, because you're the mover and the shaker, right? You need to change something. And it's crazy that he mentioned that to me, because I swear, y'all, like, maybe a week ago, or even it could have been a couple days ago. I don't even know. See, I don't even know when I had my thoughts. But I was thinking, like, I think I'm so unmoved because it's my turn to be the leader, right? I've always been a student. If you know me, I love being in school. I've been in school since I was 3 years old, right? I've always been the student. I've always been like watching documentaries, and I've always been watching speeches by people who have done great things. And so now it's like, I hear inspirational speeches and I'm still not moved, right? And so my friend Bryson brought it to my attention, like, it's because now it's time for you to inspire, right? It's time for you to be the teacher. It's time for you to be the one to take somebody out of the place that you were in, right? You've learned your lesson. You've accomplished that part of your journey. And now it's time for you to inspire the next person. And that, like, hit different in a literal sense too, right? It's time for me to become the teacher, and that's not a play on words because I am a teacher, but I mean in this journey that we call life, right? So I feel like now I have to redefine, and we've kind of talked about this in previous episodes. What's good? Gang is definitely in here. I'm about to shout all y'all out in a second. But I definitely feel like it's time for me to inspire, right? Stop being scary and take all the things that you've learned, because I'm realizing that what's the use of having so much knowledge, having so much experience, having so much to share, and you don't share it, right? What's the point of studying if you never apply the things you studied to life, right? So I feel like personally, I'm in a place where now it's time for me to show the world everything that I've learned, everything that I've studied. And I'm trying to figure out the best route to do that, you know? So, First of all, let me pause so y'all can tell me what are some things that you do in order to get out of that rut when you're not feeling inspired and not motivated. But y'all snapping right now in the chat. So I'm about to shout some people out. So shout out to Robbie. He says, if you don't use it, you lose it. Great advice. And that's on period. What's the point of studying if you're never going to apply it to the real world? Shout out to Jeanette and people who I work with. I try so hard not to just say y'all last names when I'm on here, but shout out to Jeanette. Shout out to Miranda, who's always here. Shout out to Nisha. Congratulations on your baby, girl. Shout out to Nene. Shout out to Devontae is in the building. My sister Mary is in here. Terry, my little cousin Omar. My little cousin Tasia is in here. Y'all snapping. Okay? So what we're talking about, first of all, if you haven't shared the video, do that. If you haven't shared the video, do that. But what we're talking about, hey Tashara, what we're talking about is what do you do to get out of that rut, right? And we said that for me in particular, so I told y'all I need y'all advice. When I posted the promo for today's episode, I told y'all I'm literally coming to you as a vessel, right? My podcast is called The People's Podcast because not only am I speaking to the people, but I need the people as well, right? So I'm trying to figure out what do I do to get out of the rut. And I was referring to a status that I made yesterday on Facebook saying like, yo, I feel unmotivated. I feel like uninspired. Nothing is sort of moving me. I don't feel like I have a spark anymore. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I mentioned that one of my friends told me, it's time for you to become the teacher, right? It's time for you to use what you know, okay? And so another thing that someone mentioned is my friend Terry, who is on here. She was just saying like, return back to your passion. So the advice that she gave me, and you all can give me more advice, which we're going to share with the rest of the world. But she gave me the advice too. She was like, sis, you might need to dance, right? So I've been a dancer since I was 5 years old. And I haven't been doing it much since I've been in this new space of being a teacher. Right? So she was like, you need to return to that. I love writing. I haven't been writing lately. And so the advice is that return back to what it is that you loved, okay? And I actually had a thought or a point that I made a while ago when I was talking about overcoming depression. So something that kind of helped me get out of that phase of my life was returning to what made me happy as a kid, right? Because I'm in a rut now because I feel like I'm an adult. Well, I am an adult. Because as an adult, you sort of feel like you have all of these responsibilities and we shy away from the child that's within us, right? So that was great advice that Terry gave me. Is like, it made me reflect like maybe I need to return back to what made me happy as a child. Dance has been a part of my life since I could freaking walk. And I just sort of abandoned it to try to be a great adult. And so now I'm feeling like nothing moves me. It's because I'm focusing on everything that I'm supposed to be doing and nothing that I really enjoy, right? And so that advice is something that I'm definitely going to take on. And it's something that actually the universe knew that I needed, because it's so funny that she said that to me and that I had the thought. Shout out to Deanna. I see this feedback. And remember, if you're new here, this podcast is we talking. Y'all not just here to see me talk, and y'all not just here to see me drink my wine. Y'all here to talk, okay? Say your piece, okay? But it's crazy that she mentioned that to me, returning back and dancing and writing. And I told her I'm going to give me a glass of wine and some music, and I'm going to return back to the child that I was, or the things that brought me joy as a child when the ways of the world didn't influence me. Right? Because a lot of times we get sad, we get depressed because we're comparing ourselves to what the world is telling us that we need to do. The world is telling us that we need to be moving. The world is telling us that we need to start a business. The world is telling us that we need to be chasing money. The world is telling us that if we're not doing these things, we're not good enough. And I feel like I've sort of absorbed a lot of that stuff unconsciously. Okay? And back to the point, if y'all listen, I'm scatterbrained, y'all. Welcome to Universal Teas. But the point that I was making is that it was crazy that she mentioned that to me, because the universe and God knows, like, you get signs. So she said that to me and she was like, you need to return to dance. And literally yesterday, after I made that post, no, it was this morning actually, after I made this post, someone invited me to host a dance class. Look at how the universe just be knowing what you need when you need it. And it was, I don't want to say it was random, but it was a situation that I thought I had set up for the new year, and I hadn't heard back about it, and so I got a little sad about that. But like I got hit up to teach a dance class here in Milwaukee, and so I was extremely excited about that. And it's like, God knows, right? God gives us signs, and sometimes I feel like in order for us to receive those signs from the universe, from God, from whomever you worship or whatever you believe in, the ancestors, phoneme, whoever you be talking to, we get those signs when you just got to be still, right? Because in this state that I'm in, I could be very frantic, trying to do everything, none of which has to do with what I'm supposed to be doing, nothing that has to do with my journey, but I could just be doing random things, you feel me? And so this sign came to me when I asked for help. You know what I'm saying? I sat my ass down and I was like, what do I need to be doing? Okay? So let's look at what some of you all are saying, because I'm tired of talking already. This y'all conversation, not mine. Hold on. Who child? Deanna said, going back to the basics is prominent because those are the things that ultimately brings us joy. Literally, like in this world, and this is something that, tell me if y'all disagree or agree with this. I feel like, at least from the things that I see on social media or media in general, I feel like people are only equating joy and happiness with monetary things, right? You're not successful at life. You're not good enough at life unless you're wearing designer things, which I really hate the whole designer thing, because y'all wearing designer to go to parties and the projects. Make it make sense. The world is telling us that our value lies in the money that we're giving to businesses that wouldn't give a damn whether we spend money with them or not. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like there's that pressure of trying to figure out where you belong in the world. And that's why if you're in my Facebook group, which if you're not, go ahead and join it, I mentioned like I need a break from social media because I'm letting it influence who I am and the things that I do. Miranda said, that's what I do. I try to go back to the things that I love. I was in that spot months ago. I feel like I was losing my hope in nursing school, and I felt like I wasn't excited about it anymore. So I reflected on why I was passionate about it. And what drove me to that passion. Yes. So is the advice that we're giving. So one piece of advice that y'all hope this bun make it through. I just threw her up there. But one piece of advice that I'm getting from you all and getting from people who commented on my post yesterday was return back to what made you happy. Literally dig deep into what you did as a child that brought you joy. And I don't want people who had troubled childhoods to get discouraged. There was something in your childhood that brought you joy. Go and find it. Okay? Because I'm going to make a vow to return back to dance, to return back to writing. And that's what's going to bring me joy. Miranda also said, so this year I'm starting to manifest more and use music and singing more because it makes me go harder. Go back to what brings you joy. And I will even challenge you, and I'm looking at my notes too. I would even challenge you to find things that are not making you money that bring you joy. I feel like a lot of our joy is placed in the value of $1, and that is not the way to go. Of course you want to hustle. Of course you need to, you know what I'm saying, make money. I'm not telling you not to find sources of income because that is important, but don't let your bank account define who you are. Okay? Because all that shit could get wiped out tomorrow. We scamming all day, every day. Okay? Your account could be the one to get scammed tomorrow, but who are you going to be when that happens? Who are you going to be for people in the world when that happens? You feel me? So find joy in things that don't necessarily bring you money, that don't necessarily bring you recognition. You feel me? Find your joy. Go back to the child that you were. And so as I was also reflecting on this, I realized that there are some things that I need to do, right? So here we always talk about changes that we need to make. The last episode, we talked about being uncomfortable and what things that we need to do when we get uncomfortable. And so we said that we need to change some things, right? So as I was reflecting and I wrote these things down, I don't want y'all to think that I literally just be talking to y'all. Like I'm working on myself as well. So I know that there's things that I have to do. right? Because when we're talking about getting out of a rut, you're not going to get out of a rut unless you're working to get out. You're not going to get out of a rut unless you're actively focused on the goal that you're going to reach when you're out of it, okay? So I said that one thing that I need to do, or we need to do, is change our habits, right? Or change our habits. What are the things that you're doing? What is the food that you're consuming? Who are the people that you are surrounded by? And what are they feeding into you? Right? If you're a person like me, I'm an empath. So whatever people I'm around, whatever energies I'm around, I take them on. Okay? And that is in a literal and a spiritual sense. If I'm with gang them at the party, at the Fifi, I'm lit. We turn. If I'm at a business meeting, I'm giving you all of these proposals ideas, and I'm the most professional person possible. If I'm with gang and them, we just kicking it, and I'm cracking jokes. But literally change your habits. Who are you around? What are you eating? What are you consuming? What are you reading or not reading? You feel me? What are you watching? We're still vessels. People sort of as adults forget that we are still vessels and we're still receiving information. So what is it that you are consuming? Okay? And even more importantly, what are you subconsciously consuming? Okay? Keep that in mind. All right? I said that I need to create routines, or we need to create routines. What are you doing when you wake up in the morning? Okay? What are you doing before you go to bed at night? So start small. Some things that I've started to do every day. So the first thing that I do when I wake up is I acknowledge God. Like, thank you, God, for another day. Thank you for another opportunity to live out your purpose, and things like that. I talk to God. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I've decided to do in the month of January is, if you were to be in my house, I have Post-it notes on my mirror in my bathroom. Every morning, I look up motivational quotes, I write them down on a Post-it, and I put it on my mirror. These are small things, but literally, you have to take small steps to make big strides. I felt that for somebody. You have to take small steps before you can make big strides. So those are two small things that I do in the morning. You feel me? I play music in the morning. I don't turn my TV on. I'll give me a song, play me some music. I have like a healing playlist. You feel me? But be conscious of how you're spending your time. Okay? Be conscious of how you're showing gratitude for what you have right now. You feel me? No, I don't want to be home alone. Yes, I wish I had somebody's son up in here with me, but I'm grateful that I can afford to pay my bills alone. I'm grateful for the ability to be able to do things on my own and not need to be with somebody's son to make them happen. You feel me? So it's like, be conscious of what you're doing with your time. Okay? Another thing that I said is control your thoughts. Okay? And I say this, and I know you've probably heard this before, and I'm about to get to my comments in the chat. What's good, man? I see you. Hey, Tay. Hey, Precious. One of my babies is on here, one of my old students. But what was I talking about? Oh, your thoughts. Control your thoughts, okay? So, and I want to say this from a place of empathy, from a person who overthinks everything, from a person with really bad anxiety. I make up the craziest stories in my head, right? But you have to control your thoughts, okay? And so something that I always read and always see is, or when I talk to my therapist, she's always like, Toya, every time something happens that's not necessarily in your plan, because I've realized that I plan out my life. This is what's supposed to happen. And if it doesn't happen, your girl freaks out. It could be the slightest thing, right? I could decide that, here's an example. I went to the grocery store the other day, and I wanted some salmon, right? From this particular store, because they salmon be busting, right? It be fresh, it be nice. So they didn't have any. And I was like distraught. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be eating salmon, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But my therapist led me to believe, or she pointed out a pattern that I always associate things not working out how I want with a negative outcome. When in all actuality, what if you didn't need salmon at night? You know what I'm saying? What if God wanted you to try a different recipe, or whatever the case may be? She said you need to start entertaining if things go correctly. And I don't know why it's so easy for us to entertain the negative. And maybe that's something we can talk about another time. But I always jump to the negative. If somebody that I really want to talk to doesn't answer the phone with me, I'm like, dang, they don't want to talk to me no more. They don't rock with me. You know what? Forget it. This, that, and the other. Then they call me 2 hours later like, girl, I was asleep. You feel me? So control what you think. Control the things that you say to yourself, okay? Anytime a negative thought comes in, remind yourself like, but what if? And go with the positive, right? Every time I'm feeling anxious, my therapist tells me to tell myself, you're not in danger, and this is not an emergency. Because anxiety makes us feel like everything is urgent. You're not in danger, and it's not an emergency. Control what you think, okay? Oh, this person stopped talking to me. That ain't got nothing to do with you. They dealing with their own thing, okay? And you better be glad that they're not bringing you into their bullshit, because they probably got some fucked up shit going on, and they decided that they didn't want to mess with you because of it, okay? So everything that happens that is not in your plan isn't necessarily negative, okay? And I've realized with that, I need to humble myself, right? Because I had to realize that, girl, it's not even about you. This is God's plan. You feel me? Like, who are you? Who are you to think you can rewrite what God wrote? Okay? Who are you? So humble yourself. You feel me? Control your thoughts. Okay? So let me see what y'all talking about. I'm hot, y'all. Make sure you share the video. So my routine in the morning. Oh, y'all, these earrings came from the dollar store, and baby, they hurt a little bit. They might have to come off. Y'all might see me come out my earrings tonight, and I ain't even fighting nobody. Anyway, Miranda said my routine in the morning is praying, writing a self-reflection, and goes on what I can change and listening to my gospel music. Morning routines, that's something I'm going to push y'all for, okay? Let's start with something small, okay? Something as small as, like I said, I write a quote every morning and put it on my mirror. That's what I'm doing for the month of January. Taylor says, share the healing playlist. I sure will. On Apple Music, I will share my healing playlist. Let's see. Tasha Cobbs is a great playlist for healing. Man said, talk your shit, cause I be feeling the same way. For real though, like anxiety is a motherfucker, okay? Cause it's like, girl, what you talking about? Like sometimes y'all don't call me crazy. When I get like those anxious thoughts or like I make up stories and I say them out loud to people. So find your people. If you're a person like me who suffers from anxiety, I literally have my friends, like my best friend Jasmine, I'll call her like, girl, this person did this and this is what I think's happening. And she's like, are you fucking insane? Like, what are the odds of that being true? So again, anxiety will lie to you. Don't let your anxiety lie to you. And if you haven't, we differentiated between anxiety and intuition in the last episode. So go back and listen to that. I'm going to move on to the next point. I hope I'm not the only one drinking tonight. Let me know. Ooh, all right. The next point that I wanted to make is discipline. Okay? We talk all this shit about what we need to do. You can write all the affirmations you want. You can listen to all the motivational speeches you want. You can create all the morning and evening routines you want. But discipline is what's going to get you there. Okay? And when I think of discipline, I actually want to pat myself on the back because when I tell you, this is wine. It's wine. Look. It's wine. But, discipline plays a huge role. So if you're in my Facebook group, and again, if you're not, that's why I be dropping all the real tea at. I be talking to them about stuff that I don't talk to y'all about. But I told them that I didn't even want to record tonight. I was like, y'all, I don't think we're going to have an episode this week because I don't feel inspired, right? I don't feel inspired to talk about anything. And so I had to remind myself, or I had a friend text me and was like, you tripping, bro. You gonna get on there tonight. And so I had to literally push myself. I did not want to record tonight, but I knew that this is something that I'm not only doing for other people, but I'm doing for me. You know what I mean? I was a little discouraged because there weren't as many people listening to the last 2 episodes. And I was just like, bro, I don't want to do it today. Like, what if I get on there and it's only 3 people again? You feel me? But I had to remind myself of advice that I gave people. What are you going to do with your passion if nobody is supporting you? Right? What are you going to do with your dream when nobody really believes in it and everybody thinks you're crazy? Okay? So discipline is a huge part. So if you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling uninspired, once you make those plans and you decide what it is you're going to do to get out of it, push, y'all. Because I swear to God, I did not want to be on here today. But I knew that there's probably somebody that's going to benefit from it. Somebody's going to hear it. Somebody's going to support it. You feel me? Even if I go back, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I go back and watch my own podcast episodes and I'm inspired by myself. You feel me? So what are you going to do with your vision if nobody believes in it? Okay? Discipline. Okay? Your desire, and this is the note that I wrote when I think about discipline, your desire to get out of the rut that you're in has to be greater than you being comfortable not doing shit. I'm comfortable. I don't mind kicking it in the crib. I could have been drinking this wine alone, right? But I knew there's something greater. Like, I didn't start this podcast for nothing. How can I start a podcast trying to inspire other people when I can't even be disciplined myself in doing it, right? So you can't get out of the rut if your desire to get out isn't stronger than you being comfortable being there, okay? Shout out to Braylon who just joined. Devontae, what's good? You can gain inspiration from us tuning in. Exactly, right? And so I'm always like watching numbers. And Devontae was actually the one who told me, I think it was 2 episodes ago, he was like, don't worry about the numbers. Like, if people aren't tuning in, don't worry about it. Because that's going to be something to reflect on once you do get the numbers that you want, once you do become successful. You feel me? So discipline is a large part of getting out of the rut. You have to, your desire to win, your desire to be great for you and not even for the world, right? Your desire to be great for you has to be greater than you being comfortable not doing shit. You feel me? Okay, discipline is another way that we can get out of that rut. Another thing that I had to reflect on, and y'all talk to me. Y'all getting real quiet. Y'all in here, but y'all not talking no more. Another thing that I want us to think about is who inspires you, okay? Now, I don't want to discredit anybody. I know a lot of people will be like, my kids inspire me to get up every day. True, absolutely. But I mean, like, think about people who got it from the mud. You feel me? When I think about people who inspire me, and I told y'all I listen to a lot of like inspirational quotes, motivational speeches. I listen to a lot of like pastors that speak, life coaches, things like that. And some of the people that came to my mind, Steve Harvey. I listen to a lot of his motivational speeches. People like B. Simone, who's on like Instagram famous. I think she is like extremely inspirational when we talk about getting it from the mud. I think about people like Kobe. You feel me? I think about people like Michael Jordan. You feel me? I had some more people written down. I have friends. Who inspire me, who do things, specifically friends who have like their own business ventures that I've literally watched them work when nobody else is working. And the people that I mentioned, specifically B. Simone and Steve Harvey, those are people who literally got it out the mud. You feel me? Like B. Simone told herself that she would be a billionaire, and she did everything possible to get there, right? She mentioned how she went through trials and tribulations, ups and downs, right? And she literally had to return back to things. Y'all, my bad. It's the wine. Hold on. She literally had to return back to things that she thought she had outgrown because her bigger vision was being a millionaire. You feel me? She talks about all the time like, yo, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, but I haven't done hair in this long, but I'm going to return to it because my bigger vision is being a millionaire. So I'm going to do what it takes. You feel me? And she actually documented her road to $1 million, and it was so freaking inspiring. Like, when I tell y'all, I watched it and I cried, like, because it's like you did that shit and you knew you could do it. Even when things get sketchy and things get dark, you have to know that you can do it, right? And you have to do it though. Knowing it is not enough. Like, I'm literally looking at, I have a chalkboard in my room. Well, in this room, this isn't my room, but I have a chalkboard in my room that says the things that I already am. But it's like, you have to work to get there. You feel me? You have to work to be a best-selling author. You have to work to book speaking engagements. You have to work to be a wife and a mother. You have to work to be happy. These are things that I'm looking at literally right now. You have to work to be financially stable. The difference between the doers and the dreamers is the work. Okay? So what work are you going to do to get to where you want to go? Braylon said there's some phenomenal inspiration rooms and Clubhouse as well. Yeah, okay. So on a lighter note, that's all important. And shout out to y'all. Share the video if you're here. But I got like 3 invitations to Clubhouse, and I don't really know what it is. It just seems like talking to strangers, and I don't like people. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it's like. I don't really like chat rooms and shit like that. Like, I don't know. But I'm going to look at it. Yeah. So discipline. You feel me? Find the people who inspire you. Okay? And then once you are inspired, once you can connect with the things that these people have said, you have to do something. Okay? I don't care how much you've studied. Now, this is me. I'm talking about myself. I'm putting my own business out there. I don't care how much you've studied. I don't care what career you're in. I don't care that you have your own crib, your own car. I don't care that you have such and such degrees. If you are not doing what you know you're called to do, you're failing. Right? I have all these things. People sort of look at me all the time and they're like, Toya, you're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of me too, but this ain't it. This ain't it for me. I got to get my lazy ass up so y'all can really see how I'm coming. You feel me? And I have to know that for myself. So do what it is you need to do. I don't need to listen to any more motivational speeches. You have to get to a point where it's like, I don't need to hear no more motivational speeches. You feel me? I don't need anybody to tell me that I can do great things. I know. All I got to do is stop being fucking lazy. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, get the fuck up. You're being lazy. Do what you got to do. You feel me? Nene said, preach. Right. It's like, you know, baby, you know what you need to do. So get up and do it. Stop letting the world influence you. Stop letting the world think you're less than. You feel me? I'm in a place right now and I feel very unmotivated and very uninspired. But it's not because I don't think I can do it. It's because I'm looking through social media and I'm like, bro, there's no way I can do all of that work to become a millionaire. There's no way that I have to date a bunch of sorry ass niggas before I get to my husband. You feel me? There's no way. Like, I'm letting the world dictate what I can do. You feel me? I'm looking at people who are already there because nobody is posting their struggles. Let's start there. Okay? They post it when they make it. Okay? They're posting when they closed on the house. They're posting their engagement. You feel me? They're posting when they got that business deal. They're posting when they got $1 million. But they're not telling you about how many times they got cheated on and lied to and beat the fuck up. They're not telling you how many times they got denied because their credit was shit and that it took them a whole 8 years to build the credit before they could get the house. You feel me? They didn't tell you how many times they did this, that, and the other. People aren't posting when they're losing. So I would literally, and I'm being transparent, I would literally look at people like I hate being on Instagram seeing happy couples. Not gonna lie. I hate being on Instagram seeing people with successful business. I've been a hater. Transparently, I've been a hater the last couple of weeks. And it's not because I don't think I can. It's just because I haven't been disciplined. I haven't been disciplined enough. And I feel like some of you do the same things, right? It's like, dang, she keep posting her business. But sis, you didn't see when she was posting about her business and nobody liked it. Okay? Like, B. Simone, I go back to B. Simone because she's someone who inspires me. I didn't realize, like, yes, she's this Instagram famous or this social media famous and she's rubbing elbows with the movers and the shakers. But, hold on, y'all. My computer trying to update. I don't need to update. I'm doing something. Remind me later. Oh. I don't need to update. Okay. But I actually just seen this video. Do y'all remember 106 & Park when they were looking for a new host? Y'all, B. Simone was one of the people trying to be a host on 106 & Park. That was before she was B. Simone the millionaire. You feel me? People don't see that. When you in the mud, you're still worth it. You feel me? When you in the mud, you're still worth it. When I tell people about where I grew up and how I grew up, I don't know why people that I meet in this day and age think I'm some bougie ass girl who like grew up in the suburbs. And baby, listen, I could get a nigga killed if I wanted to. You feel me? So it's just like, if you believe in yourself, that's not enough. A lot of the times, a lot of speeches that I've heard, motivational speeches. Oh, if you believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't do. That's some bullshit. Believing in yourself is not enough. What are you doing? Believing in yourself is not enough. And tell them Toya is the one who told you. Believing in yourself is not enough. What are you doing to get where you want to go? Okay? That's what I wanted to tell y'all. Last thing is hard work. Well, it's not the last thing because I got to shout out my dog for plugged in. But for hard work, here's what I need you all to do because I'm getting hot. I'm not even going to lie. Like, my butt is hot right now on this seat. My thighs sweating. Okay. So for hard work for my friends who are new here are things that we literally do. Get you a journal, write it in your notes in your phone. I don't care where you write it, but if we're working on ourselves, I just told you, believing in yourself is not enough. This is what we is the operative word here. This is what we are going to do to propel ourselves to that next level. So that's what hard work is. And so for this week, I have a couple things that I want you all to write out. The first thing, what habits are you going to commit to? What habits? We talked about morning routines. And that's that why it is, right? When we talk about habits, start small. Do not overwhelm yourself. And I had a whole episode about this, making a list. Don't overwhelm yourself. I told you my morning routine, what I'm starting with is my mind. I pray as soon as I wake up and I write down a quote and stick it on my mirror. Okay? What habits are you creating? Do not overwhelm yourself. Make it small. You could commit to making yourself a healthy breakfast every day. Start small. And every time you accomplish a goal and you feel confident in it, they say that it takes 21 days to create a habit. Okay? So if the first 21 days, your habit is literally waking up as soon as your alarm goes off and not hitting snooze, I'm telling y'all my business again. Waking up when your alarm goes off, if that's your goal, do that for 21 days. And make yourself a new habit, okay? If your ultimate goal was to start a podcast, like me, take your time. Find a name, okay? I told y'all, I literally had my podcast equipment for a year before I ever went live, okay? The first step was buying the equipment. I bought all the shit. I just didn't use it, right? Don't overwhelm yourself. What habits are you creating, okay? And that's it. I thought I had more than that. So for hard work, I want you to make a list. I don't want more than 3 things on the list because I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. What are 3 things, 3 habits that you're going to commit to, okay? They can be small. They can be as small as praying in the morning. They can be as small as waking up as soon as your alarm goes off. They can be as small as, I'm trying to think of something related to maybe work or something. They can be, for me, like grading work as soon as your students turn it in. Something small that you're going to commit to 21 days. Tell me how it goes. Okay? So, there's a lot more we could talk about, but I feel like I'm tired of talking. And that's fine. So the last part of my podcast, this podcast is called The People's Podcast for a reason, because I love people. I don't like people, but I love y'all. And every week I shout out a small business. I shout out somebody's music project. I shout out things that people have going on that are benefiting other people. And this week I am more than happy to shout out my homegirl. We have literally, so me and Nene have been friends probably since we were born. Literally, like we've been friends we ain't had no choice. Since we were little, so many memories. Playing in the backyard, everybody eating dinner at everybody's house. But she has her own nail business. So we're supporting Black businesses and small businesses, and we're supporting ganging them all at the same time. So her business is called Nails by BCD, and I'm going to put it in the chat. And I'm actually going to tag her too. So if you need to go to her page to ask more questions. But sis is cold. And I actually want to shout her out because this is one of those instances where I really want you all to, when I tell you like push your passion, even if nobody is watching. I don't know if she's noticed that I've always been watching. But her nail game has grown so much. Like, I still remember the first, like, post that she made when she was doing nails. And love you, but sis came a long way, right? She didn't start off at the best, but it's like she still posted her shit. Every time she progressed, she was posting. And I was like, yes, girl, get it. But when I tell you she is cold now, like, professional. If I was still in Chicago, I would probably, no, I'm sure. Hold on, y'all can't even spell the girl name. There we go. So in the chat, I have her business as well as her Facebook pinned. But yeah, so that progress, I've watched it over a long period of time. You got to get it out the mud when nobody is watching, when nobody believes in you but you, okay? Now, she could have looked at that first set of nails she did and was like, this shit whack. I'm not doing it no more. But committing yourself to your passion pays off, and she is cold, y'all. Like, I be looking at the shit she be doing. She be having all the like, now my nails real basic, Nene. So when I come to you, all I need is a little polish and a little shape. I don't do the bedazzle. But when I tell you like Cardi B bedazzle and color, I don't even know what it's all called, y'all. Like the color is different. Go on her page, y'all. Go on her page and you'll see it. But no, if you are in Chicago, if you're gonna be in Chicago, please hit her up. Like, she is cold and she's very committed to her passion and what she does, and it's beautiful work. She's committed herself to her craft, and it shows. It shows that her hard work is paying off. So Nails by BCD is who I'm plugging in today. I have pinned it in the chat. If you are listening to my podcast, this will all be in the show notes. Yes, Mariah, it's called ombre, y'all. I'm a teacher. I don't be having bedazzled nails, so my nails look like this all the time. But yeah, she be doing the ombre, child, she could probably put a 3D. I don't know, child. My nails basic. I'm basic when it comes to nails. But yes, that is who I'm shouting out. So I'm about to go ahead and close us out. And my friends that are here, please make sure you share the video. So yeah, give me a second. So thank you. Oh wait, no. We're not closing out, y'all. I don't know what this episode is called. I think we should call it, what y'all think? I think we should call it, who got a name, y'all? This is so unprofessional. The people gonna be listening like, girl, how you got a podcast and don't know the name of the episode? I'm gonna call it Do Something. Cause y'all ain't helping me. I'm gonna call it Do Something. So now I'm gonna close us out for real. Alright, so thank you all for tuning in to Universities. It's the People's Podcast with your girl Toya. This episode is called Do Something, and I appreciate you all. If you have not already, make sure you join us every Tuesday